Good day, thanks for tuning in. My name is Todd Standing. I'm the man who takes people out in the field and shows them a Sasquatch. Hasn't been a live interact with or eyewitness a Sasquatch, specifically. Wow, great show today. It's supposed to be Throwback Thursday, but heck with that. We're going to talk about a theory that's turned into something very factual, that's very profound. And I'm going to prove it today with factual evidence based on science and what we see here, what's going on in society today. It's that Bigfoot are actually smarter than human beings. And watch this little documentary short and be prepared to be impressed with real evidence that'll really help you understand why it's been so difficult to prove the existence of this species. We're not versus some dumb animal. Even that term has always offended me because wild animals are highly intelligent, highly adept. I've seen it. And now the scientific evidence shows the difference between domestication and wild beings. And we're going to talk about that today and take this to a level that's going to really blow your mind. So stay tuned. Time to take our heads out of the sand and recognize this incredible primate species and start learning from them, because the masters of civilization, my people, sure could learn a lot from the masters of the wilderness, which is who they are.
There's no way that you got sight of a Sasquatch in those areas with those tree breaks, with those tracks, getting those apples taken, with those sounds, all these things.
Domestication and domestication syndrome. This is my beautiful puppy. I don't know what the heck she was just rolling in, but a very amazing, wonderful companion are dogs, but they're domesticated and they suffer from domestication syndrome. And being somebody who goes out in the backcountry and survives in the wilderness, I've seen how she couldn't make it. She wouldn't survive a week, and the wolves live out there and thrive. They're highly intelligent, highly adapted, and that's a big part of what we're going to talk about today. The term "only the strong shall survive" is not just some term you can take lightly. It's literally what allows a species from the time it's conceived to the time it dies to decide whether it's strong enough to viably produce offspring, which is immensely important when it comes to wilderness and wild beings and means nothing in the cases of domestication. Several things occur when a species is domesticated. This process is known as domestication syndrome. Amongst many other known consequences are a shift in behavior and appearance, subservient behavior, significantly smaller brains, laziness, obesity, and a loss of working memory. Look at the examples of pigs and sheep that we've domesticated from where they've gone from wild beings as compared to their domesticated versions. You can see the color changes, the smaller brains, the laziness, and the obesity, all serious signs of the plague known as domestication syndrome. And what about this new experiment, human domestication? We've gone from hunters and gatherers to farmers and herders to factory workers and consumers. In society, everyone survives, the weak and the strong. The vast majority of species on this planet cannot be domesticated, like the moose or zebras as examples. We can see signs of failed domestication amongst our own species. Society compensates by calling this lack of domestication traits deviant behavior, depression, anxiety, or even bipolar disorder. Instead of bringing these people back to nature, we compensate with medication, which is just another form of domestication or enforcing unnatural behaviors. An important part of this video today is about a piece of evidence that some Japanese researchers have done. The link for it is below. It's chimp versus human being. Again, the link is below. And it's really important that you have a look at that, because when you see that scientists are showing with evidence that chimpanzees are actually have a level of intelligence that's significantly superior to human beings, and that level of intelligence pertains specifically to working intelligence, to being out in the wilderness, boots on the ground, the ability to outthink and deduce and make brilliant deductions in a highly conflicting situation the way a Sasquatch would. They're hunters, they're trackers, they survive in the wilderness. And there, you've got to understand that if chimpanzees are showing that they're more intelligent than human beings based on this specific area of intelligence, of intellect, the Sasquatch are cold weather bipedal primates that migrated out of Africa. They're better hunter-gatherers. The cold weather already makes you, science shows that cold weather makes you smarter, makes you more adept, makes you more innovative, because it's harder to survive. These are facts. So I would not even have to argue, just based on simple deductive reasoning, the Sasquatch are going to be significantly intellectually superior when it comes to that specific area of intelligence than chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are smoking us. Go versus Sasquatch. And go versus Sasquatch based on they're not domesticated, they have bigger brains, they're more adapt for survival, they're bigger, stronger, they live based on the laws of nature, which is only the strong survive. We don't. So who's the intelligent one? Who's the smart one? Who doesn't want to be domesticated? Domestication and domestication syndrome is an ugly word, and if you think human beings aren't severely suffering from that, you're not paying attention, are you? So, and it's getting worse. Again, we came from hunter-gatherers, which exactly are where Sasquatch are. Hunter-gatherers, 100%. We became farmers, herders, agriculturalists. That's gonna dumb you down. Agriculture has done nothing to any domesticated species to increase its survival ability, to increase its brain size, to increase its intelligence. All the evidence points to actually the contrary of that. So now there's a new big experiment that I'm a part of right now. This experiment is what happens when you even dumb it down to another level, or is it dumbing it down to becoming a consumer? People don't even farm, and people aren't even part of agriculture. They're completely separate from nature, other than that they eat food and they're still organic with their consumption of it. They still need nature to survive, but they're separated from it. And what's that experiment yielding? I'll let you figure that out for yourself. But right now it doesn't look so good, and what are the consequences long term? A little scary. So maybe the fact that Sasquatch are even more afraid of technology, more afraid of being domesticated, right? So does that not make them more intelligent to know to stay away? To be so many of the traits that domesticated beings have, that we have, that they don't have, gives them so many advantages. You can simply deduce based on logic and factual knowledge that we know they are an incredible, amazing, highly adapted, highly surviving, highly intelligent species that will smoke. We better not give up on our technology. It's all we got left. Without it, we're smoked, we're done. When a big virus comes through here, a virus, not something like corona, a virus that comes through that kills everything, the birds and the dogs, there are such viruses that can exist. When those come through here and they wipe out all domesticated species, when Mother Nature fights back, who's going to take over the planet? Who's going to be the dominant species? In fact, I would argue even right now, technologically, yes, domestically we are the dominant species, but who's the dominant wild species? Who is the dominant, and which species, the technologically advanced one or the wildly advanced one, the wilderness advanced one, the non-domesticated one, which one is actually the dominant species, and which one will triumph in the end? So lots of questions, lots of theories here, lots of hypotheses. You can make your own deductions, but that's where we're at right now. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'd love your comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you really love this channel. Lots of new content like this coming. This is just we're just peeking through the keyhole here. There's so much more to come, so stay tuned and we'll get to it.